1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome back to Country and Cold Cans. I'm Logan, sitting here with Trucker Andy. No Kyle this week. Be sure to give us 5 stars and a great review on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And, there's a link in the description that says click here to leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you. Any questions, any comments, anything you have to say to us, or any music recommendations, that's the place to hit us. On today's episode, we talked to Texas country rocker Brian Chance about his music, his influences, about the Texas music scene, and a whole host of other things. Definitely a good interview. We had a great time talking to this guy, so be sure to check it out. Now on to the interview with Brian Chance. All right, we're sitting here with Texas artist Brian Chance. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, man, you're missing one of our co-hosts tonight. I don't know where he is right now. We're thinking he fell asleep because he works long days, and about 2 weeks ago, Kyle he fell asleep when we were supposed to record, so we had to push it off a week. So we're gonna give him hell for missing this interview.
Hey, he's watching the World Series, man. You can't be mad at him.
That's probably what he's doing. Are you Astros or Rangers guy?
Man, I like any team from Texas, really, but I'm more Rangers, man. You know that
Rangers.
Nolan Ryan. He played for Astros too, but like Nolan Ryan era, that's what made me fall in love with it.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm telling you, they don't make pitchers like Nolan Ryan anymore. That guy was an Iron Man. Now these guys are coming out when the pitch count gets too high after 4 innings.
I know, man. And how what is his name, Garcia? How he's like, I got to miss because my left side. I'm like, dude, you're making $1 million a year. I wouldn't miss for nothing.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Dude, I was like watching the other day, I had a parlay play going on both the pitchers from the game, and then Max Scherzer went out because of like muscle soreness or something like that, and I lost it because he went out early, and I'm like, man, I was like, in the old days, this would never happen. They'd power through in the World Series.
I'm a gambler too, man, so I'm right there with
you. Which sports do you like to wager on?
I like football, but I played baseball growing up, so high school, I was we came from a big baseball family, but almost played for Oklahoma State University in college, but went to the oil field like a dummy and gave up. But it wasn't like a big scholarship or nothing, but I would have got to play. So, but yeah, it's just I'm a big baseball guy too. But football is you get to more people understand it. I feel like, and they enjoy it. So I like betting on football too. But
oh yeah, I played baseball growing up too. What position did you play?
I played shortstop and pitcher, but mainly shortstop was my deal.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I played second base for all my life until my junior year, where I had to start playing short a little bit. And then I moved to left field my senior year just because we had some kids come up from the JV team that could play infield, but they couldn't catch a fly ball to save their life. I was versatile enough that I could go out there and do that. So I told the coach, I was like, I'll move out there because I actually low-key had more fun out there. But yeah, that's cool, man.
We sucked at it. I love my old team. We're still friends. I'm still friends with all the dudes, but we just couldn't play together as a team. I feel like, dude, we were getting beat by 34-2. And I'm like, dude, this is like football scores,
Right.
Yeah, we were horrible, man. We sucked, but we had fun though, man. We had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, dude, I miss it sometimes. I didn't realize until my last game that was going to be the last organized sports I was going to get to play. It's one thing you play pickup with your friends, and trust me, these days I'm pushing 30. So when I try to play pickup basketball and everything now, I'm out of breath within 2 minutes. But it ain't quite the same.
Same, bro. Same. Miss it.
What's that?
But I miss it though.
Oh yeah, me too. So East Texas, what part are you from?
So I'm from Jacksonville, Texas, kind of outside of Tyler. Born and raised here. But yeah, I'm kind of from that area. So right next to Palestine, Texas, home of Whiskey Myers. And then you got White House right by us, where Patrick Mahomes went and played against him in high school and stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
And right down the road, you got Lindell, Chris Colston, you got Co Wetzel. A lot of big names from around here. So I love being in East Texas, saying I'm from East Texas. They're like, oh, that's where so-and-so's from. I'm like, yeah, So
oh yeah.
It's a cool spot, man. It's kind of real laid back, lay low kind of deal, but a lot going on around here too at the same time. But.
Hey, I hear that. Andy, you ever been there? I know you've made the traverse across Texas way more than I have.
Yeah, I've been pretty much everywhere in Texas. It's weird when you go through, like you were saying, in East Texas, you go through every town. You're like, I've heard of this place. You've heard of almost every town in East Texas.
Heck yeah, man. Did you get to stop at in Tyler at like timeout before they shut it down? Like Whiskey Myers thinks about?
No, I've never been there. I've been to
Speak-
Tyler, but I've never done anything. I'm the guy that's been everywhere that's done nothing anywhere.
And just so we're clear, timeout was a strip joint, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And Kyle's missing this conversation.
They shut it down. It was a good one. My wife's in the other room, probably mad right now.
Hey man, what are you gonna do, right?
She'll get over it.
So you played against Patrick Mahomes, you said. So what did you probably about what, 27, 28?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 29 right now.
Oh, gotcha. Nice. Yeah, we are too. Because I was trying to get an idea for like, so what was the music, I guess? Did you obviously probably grew up on Texas music?
Man, so my grandparents raised me. So like, well, I stayed with them, and then I'd go see my mom and dad on the weekend sometimes. Like they're divorced when I was younger, but so like my mom and them, they were like real country. They would always be on the river, and I'd be listening to like, you know, Hank Williams Jr. and stuff like some drinking music and like the real old stuff. And my grandma, when she picked me up from school, always like Keith Whitley, Conway. So I grew up on that, and then my dad was like real big into like sound systems and stuff. So he always had the sound systems. We grew up on like old rap, and then like Nirvana and Alice in Chains was like his favorite. So like I kind of grew up kind of just like a big, mixed pot of all that stuff. But yeah, then I kind of fell in love with Texas country, and that was back before, you had Apple Music and all that stuff. So I was the one at school like slinging the CDs. Everybody was like, "Hey man, I found the song on LimeWire." And you got Bill Clinton in the front of it making a speech, but after that, it's pretty fire, bro. Like, I did not have sex with that woman or whatever, and then a banger would come on right after it. But so like I was the one that everyone was like, "Hey man, make me a CD. I heard you made some like CD that's good for like back road and stuff." So I kind of fell in love with music then. Never knew I could sing or play guitar. Nobody in my family sings or plays any instruments. And then I had a buddy. And he played and he sang and he was in like FFA and all that, 4-H. And he would always get all the women at the parties, man. And I was like, and he was like, "Dude, I'm telling you, it's the guitar." And I was like, "There's no way." And he said, "Well, can I hear you sing?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm not singing." And then I sang and he was like, "Dude, you're pretty good, man." He said, "Let's go do karaoke this Friday." And I said, "Dude, there's no way I'm singing in front of people. Like, no way, dude." And then, little Liquid Courage. And we went to this like hole in the wall bar here in Jacksonville, and there was like 5 people there. And I sang, I think, "That's Just Jesse" by Kevin Denny. It was either that or it was "Don't Close Your Eyes" by Keith Whitley. And like there was like 5 people there, and they clapped. And I was like, "All right, I'm going to the pawn shop tomorrow." And I begged, I was like, "Dad, I need $100, man. Just please, I want this guitar." And he said, "I don't know, man." He said, "I don't see you doing it." And I said, "Come on." So we went there and I bought this guitar, and it was a piece of junk, man. But it was like a 12 string, but I took 6 strings off because my fingers were fat. And I started playing and just like off of Google, man. And it's like looking up how to play this and, where to put my fingers for this chord, and just kind of started by ear, and then wrote my first song and just been going from there. And like got where I got the band. I got them off of Craigslist, my very first band, dude. And it's like a crazy story. So,
Oh, yeah.
Every Craigslist story is.
Yeah, it was wild. So we were at this bar, and I kept going up to the bar owner, and like, I mean, we raised hell there, man. Before I even did music, I was like, "Man, let me do a show here." And he was like, "Man, I don't know." And he said, "I don't know if you'll do good. You have a band." And I was like, "Hell yeah, I got a band." And I didn't have a band. And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I promise you." He said, "Well, you got 2 weeks, and you can play with Aaron Watson, open for Aaron Watson."
Oh,
and
jeez.
I was like, "Holy crap." I was like, "All right."
It's like, welcome to the fucking show.
I found the first people on Craigslist. One guy pulled up, and dude, like, I can't make this shit up, right? So it's like, he pulls up and he's got like piss stains all on his leg. And I'm like, "Dude, what is that?" And he was like, "The weirdest dude you ever met in your life." Like one of the weirdest dudes. And he said, hope he's not watching this, but I said, "Why you got piss stains all over your legs, dude? We're about to play a show." And we practiced like 2 times before this. And we were horrible, by the way, at that show. But they called us back and we played again. but I was like, why you got piss stains on your legs, bro? And he said, man, I rescue baby, what is it? Baby squirrels. And I let them pee on me because it makes them feel at home. And I was like, dude, I was like, I'm never getting on Craigslist again, dude. So I had to like fire him after that show, and he was like furious with me, dude. And but yeah, it was crazy, man. I got to meet Aaron, and you know, they were super cool. We ended up playing with him like 2 or 3 times again after that. And I found like a powerhouse guitar player. He now plays for Reed Southall, and dude, he kind of like he helped me out. You know, he was so good, and like when he played on stage, everyone would like turn and look. So he kind of, you know, just helped us out, and you know, we played for a ton of people, man. I mean, it's been crazy so far, but yeah, crazy.
Dude, I don't know if I've ever heard anybody rescuing baby squirrels and letting them take a piss on them, but that's hilarious.
He was a wild dude, man. He was great. Like he was like the kind of guy that I was scared next show was going to come up and, you know, shoot my ass or something.
The kind of guy you're scared to fire.
Yeah. You might send it via email instead of in person.
Man.
Yeah, man, that's cool though. First show, Aaron Watson, man, that's something, because like you hear about a lot of people's first gigs, you know, it's like they talk somebody into letting them play at a bar and everything. It's like a 3-4 hour set, but first show, Aaron Watson, who's the coolest people you've gotten to like open for?
Oh man, we played with Cole a couple times before, like he was like super huge, how he is now, and like his manager used to be his drummer, and like was buddies with him back in the day, and he was playing with Co's cousin. So I mean, I got to see a lot of people like kind of go up and blossom into what they are right now, which is super cool. But we played with Parker McCollum. That was probably one that was super fun in College Station. We got to do that with Texas Music Pickers, like when they were first starting out. We played with Johnny Lee from Urban Cowboy. He was probably the wildest one, I feel like.
Oh yeah,
he drank, man. Like that guy. Eli Young, they were really cool. Swan Brothers, we played with them. They were on the Voice of American Idol, something like that. But dude, they were super good. And let me think. I mean, there's been a ton, dude. We played with Neil McCoy, Kevin Fowler. Neil McCoy was he's probably the best. Him and Kevin Fowler are the best entertainers I've ever seen. If you haven't never shows, dude, like I was blown away by Neil McCoy. But his brother and my grandma work together. So they're all from around here. So like when I was a kid, I was just watching him grow up too. So that kind of, you know, I was like, dude, this guy can sing, and he like puts on everyone's laughing, they're having a good time. I was like, that's what I want to do. You know, like I would love to do that if I had enough courage to get up in front of people.
The impressive thing about Neil McCoy is like, you know, he's that good of an entertainer, and he doesn't have like, you know how like when you play sometimes like you have you're playing guitar, like he doesn't usually, I don't even know if he plays guitar, but on stage he's just like in it singing and everything, and he doesn't have like I don't want to use this negatively, like the crutch of the guitar of what to do with your hands, you know what I mean? He has that feel for it on stage.
Yeah, dude, he was so good, man, and I was just like so jealous. Like I was like, dude, I have to like go up before that, and then you know, I was like, people are gonna be disappointed. But no, it was. We put on a really good show. We played with him twice now, and like I mean, him and his crew. I mean, we haven't played with anyone that wouldn't like just, oh my god, I want to go play with him again, you know. But everyone's always been so nice. Like that's what's kind of cool in the music world. You're all competition, but they all work together, you know. So it's pretty cool. I've learned a lot, and a lot the hard way. Yeah. But yeah, when we first started, dude, we were pretty wild, but we kind of settled down with time and realized you can't be like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, not many of us are Keith Richards, right? Like we aren't able to have that hard living too long.
It catches up with you quick.
Oh yeah,
but
now you mentioned go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, like you were mentioned that like you opened for Co, and I noticed that you had written at least one song, maybe a couple, with Taylor Kimball, who's like does producing for Co these days.
So we started with Taylor. He's out of Denton, But dude, he's blown up, and that dude is so creative, man. Like, I mean, it's insane what you can give him and what he can turn it into. It's just, I mean, it's crazy. Um, but yeah, he actually hit me up one day a long time ago. That we recorded it was right when he got, I think, finished with Noise Complaint, and it was just taking off. He hit me up. They were doing Reed Southall's album at that time, and then ours, and that's when our guitar player quit and went to Reed. So it's kind of like they released all their stuff, and I had to kind of replace that guy and figure out, because he was coming up with all the guitar parts. So, but yeah, so he hit us up. I was like, "Hey, dude, you want to come?" So we were recording in his house, like, and I mean that's where Noise Complaint was recorded, and Reed Southall's first album. I think it was it the acoustic one? I can't remember what it was, but it was all recorded in his house, and it was insane, man. Like the drums were upstairs, so the guy's playing the drums upstairs, and the cables going through the ceiling.
Oh, geez.
And we're all sleeping on the floor, and then we'd wake up and like just start playing music. I mean, it was a fun time, man. It was just like there was no worries. Just it was about the music, and I've never experienced nothing like that. So before that, we'd go to these studios, and you just like pay $2,500, $3,000 a song, and they're just like one take and done. And
Right.
Insane musicians, but I've never had it where it's like you're all hands on, and it kind of changed my whole outlook on it and experience. I mean, it was some of probably like the best times of my career. I feel like just like the creative juices, just that everyone was flowing, and we're all sleeping on the floor of Jared Easterling's house. Like he plays for drums for Co now, but we were like sleeping on the floor watching like, I mean, stupid movies, dude, on this projector and stuff. We're sleeping, and we're all like on this one air up mattress, like this huge mattress. We're all balanced, the whole band, and it was just cool, like getting everyone, you know what I mean, working and being that close together.
Was that Goodbye So Long the first like full length you put out?
That was like the first EP I put out, but I recorded that at Rosewood and Tyler.
Okay.
And then I started off in Houston and changed my mind, and we went to Rosewood and Tyler. And I mean, they do some good stuff. I did Rain there, and then got them to fix what Houston messed up. And we just did our last single there. But now we're recording with Ryan Wellman. So he's actually it's kind of a full circle deal. He's my old guitar player, and he plays for Reed Southall right now, and he produced the Dudley Boys. What's their names? Joint Custody. He produced all their stuff that it just came out with, and he's doing ours. I mean, he's a super talented guy. He's just like Kimball. Just give them nothing and they turn it into gold. It's just crazy, man. Just watch them do it. But so we got like 2 songs we're recording next weekend with him.
Oh, nice. So that was something Andy and I did want to like kind of get into with you, was like it seems like from us going through your discography that like sonically speaking, like you've got some stuff that's like, just I would say straight ahead country. Then you've got some stuff that's like rock and roll, like just the influences of what brought that in. How did that come about, or how did you make the decision on what direction you want to take sonically on each project?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. Excuse me. Like I started off country, like we were real country, and that was kind of like what I started out learning how to play, learning how to sing. I'm a big Gary Allen fan.
Oh yeah.
So like, all I had was like 3 or 4 of his CDs, and that's the only CDs I had. And my stepdad was a contractor, so I'd sit in the truck when he was working on houses and stuff because I hated building. And I just played them CDs over and over, and I was like, dang, this is what he did with his voice. Why did he go high here, go low here? Why did he hold that out? Why is his melodies going like that? So I just kind of like studied it and just would copy him. And I feel like that's kind of what taught me how to sing, I feel like. But so the first I was trying to copy, I was like, all right, this is me. I put more of my life into that kind of music. And then the second, we were, on the road a lot, doing a lot of shows. And I was like, I want some more upbeat stuff that's not just dancing. And, that's when Co was kind of taking off and everyone was kind of following that wave. So we went with that wave a little bit. And it was just more fun to play too. Oh. But now we're like kind of coming back down and trying to do a little mix of both is what we're trying to hit now. But
Yeah, man, I really dig it because those are two styles of music that I really, really like. So, like, country was like my first love growing up. I was that weird kid that didn't listen to a lot of hip hop or rock early on. I was like, I kind of got into the more rock stuff later. So, like, I love the country stuff, and then as I've gotten older, I've drifted into more of the rock stuff. Like, and that, like, Trust Issues album, it was like the first. Instead of just having it on shuffle, that was the first project of yours that I listened all the way through, and it was right up my alley. I can vibe with this. Like, especially, like, I think Greenfields was the first one that got me.
Yeah, Green Trail. So it's a like that's probably one of my favorite ones, man. It was about this girl. There's a story behind it nobody really knows, but I tell it like when we play live. But so I was dating this girl all throughout high school, and then she left me for my ex best friend. And she was saying she was going to be rich and famous and have all this money and cars and fancy clothes and all this stuff. And so she left and went with him, married him. And I tried to be like, I was like, all right, I don't care, whatever. If that's what you want to do, whatever. But he like hates my guts, and he was like, hey, you don't listen to his songs, you don't go to his shows, like don't even follow him. So he writes all that. And I was like, no, I don't, but I'm gonna write you this one. And Green Trails is like a shitty apartment complex here in Jacksonville that they still live in. So it was like I was like, I'm gonna write you a good one.
I was wondering what Green Trails was. I'm glad you said that because, like, one, like the hook to that at the beginning of the chorus is awesome. It was like with the shitty green trails, and I said, but I was like, I didn't totally know where it was referencing, so I'm glad you told that story.
Kimball even said the same thing. He's like, dude, nobody's gonna know. And I was like, well, I think that's what's great about it. We were sitting on the couch, and Ryan just came up with that little thing on the guitar, and I just like hummed it, and then it hit, and I was like, holy crap, dude. And like it was like the living room and then the kitchen, and I set up on the counter and just wrote it. Like, I mean, within probably 10 minutes it came out, like the whole song. It was wild. But yeah, that's one of my favorite ones to play, especially live. It's full of energy and people love it, especially when they hear the story, because everyone I feel like that. But,
oh yeah, no doubt about that.
Because the story makes that better.
Yeah. Yeah. People like something they can relate to, I feel like, and like, especially like when we go to college towns and play, like that's probably the one that goes over the best. They just like, and then normally at the beginning, like I'm like, hey, I'll pull my phone out and be like, hey, I'm going to send her a video, and everyone's just like FTB, like real loud. I video it and post it because I know she's going to see it,
Yeah.
But, so it gets up. So it's kind of a cool thing, but
it's one thing that like you've done with that song that I've seen a lot of like other artists like around our age and that's in the Texas scene that have done that is I think there wasn't enough music of that in the past decade of like country and rock music where it's almost like a song where something goes wrong, right? Because don't get me wrong, I love sad songs. I love the bummer jam. Sad song. We always say on this show, sad songs make us happy. But there's something when you kind of take that sad song and you mix a little bit of angst and anger in with it, and it's almost like, you know what, F you kind of thing, like that. So that struck a chord with me. I was like, hell yeah, brother, when I first heard it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I hope it makes a little more sense now that you know the story behind it.
I'm gonna have to go back. That was the last song I listened to before I got out the truck today. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it, knowing the story.
Yeah, dude. It might sound a little different now.
Oh yeah.
Most people I've noticed too can't pull off the range, like the range of sound. Most people, they're either good at one or they're not. You pull off both equally as good, which is unique. You don't hear that. A lot of people will go rock and country, but one's clearly better than the other. But with yours, they're just equally as good.
Well,
they both seem natural to you.
And the band was like, let's start going back more country route, because if you do the more country stuff, there's more bars that'll book you. It's like a lot easier to make it instead of like the rock scene. So they're wanting to kind of go back that route. And I was like, well, let's just do both. Like, why can't we? Let's release some that's kind of rock, release some that's kind of country, and just shoot from the hip and see what sticks. So that's kind of like our game plan now to kind of see what happens. But we like both. Hell, my guitar player knows how to play steel guitar, and we're about to start bringing that out. So
yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
some steel guitar, and some songs we're playing with a baritone guitar, just heavy, you know. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like if you go to hell, the Houston Rodeo, you know, I mean, they'll have AC/DC and, you know, all these huge metal bands, and the next night it's George Strait. So it's like, you know, everyone loves just music. So I just want to put as much out as I can, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, reality is like people our age, and then in music listeners in general now. But we grew up in like, you know, the MP3, iPod kind of era, and then now with streaming, it's even more prevalent. Like it's the playlist era now, where people can go from like Biggie and Tupac to George Strait and Alan Jackson on the same playlist, and people don't blink an eye. So yeah, it's like I'm with you on that. Where I dig what you guys are doing both, just because even within the context of the Texas music scene, right? There over the last like 5 years, especially, but it definitely is like there's the neo trad, like more traditional stuff, and then there's the rock stuff, and it all kind of fits within that same kind of like regional scene that Andy and I have been absolute fans of for the last like 5-10 years. So you can definitely do both and do it well.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I really do. That means a lot. I mean, y'all listen to a lot of music, so
yeah, man, for sure. Like, yeah, dude, because like I know that like when I know that Kyle is gonna hate that he missed this, because when I sent him, like I when you messaged like the Twitter account, like I was the one who runs the account, I was like, I think I've heard of this guy, I'm gonna check him out. And I was like, yo, I like this. Then I sent it to the guys, and then Kyle, first thing he did was he went to the Trust Issues album, and that's right down Kyle's alley. And he was just like, he had like questions and was doing research today, and now he's not here to even talk to you.
Oh man. Well, glad I liked it. You know, a lot of people, they're like, my mom especially, she was like, "Oh, I do not like this sound. Like, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, you're not my clientele. You know, like you're not my target audience." I was like, I want to be in a bar somewhere, like a college bar. You know, that's where I feel like all the money is. You know, the college kids, they spend a lot of money. You know, they go out. So I was like, that's what I want. That's my clientele. They also stream a lot more music. You know, so
yeah.
When I was that age, dude, I mean, that's all I did is straight music, no matter what I was doing. Now I don't listen as much, you know, but because I'm always like, especially myself, like, dude, I can't listen to my own songs. Like, it like irks me because I'm like, man, why'd I do that? I should have did this, or, you know, I'm always judging it. But yeah, like I listen to a lot of old country now, I feel like. And I still listen to, like, when someone new comes out, like Geo and Austin Meade and like all them guys, I still listen to all that stuff too. But I mean, I've still got a wide variety of music, I feel like. But
oh yeah, I'm kind of the same way. We actually had Gio on here, I want to say a year or two ago. He's super awesome, dude. Fun to talk to.
Before he blew up, man, right before he just released that album, we were doing like, this guy I knew, we did like a songwriter competition together, and then he was like, I'm gonna make my own podcast. And me and Gio played the same as me, Gio, and Cannon Bryce. And we played this like at some burger joint near Dallas. And Gio got up there, and I heard him. I never heard of him before. And like we were all talking, dude, like one of the coolest guys you ever met. Like, I mean, he was just down to earth, like super cool. And when he sang, I was like, holy shit, I was not expecting that voice.
Right.
Like, golly, dude, I don't know what to think about this. Like, I mean, obviously good, but I was like, it's almost like a stained, like, you know, Aaron Lewis kind of country. Like I was like, dude, I don't know. Like, this guy's going to be huge. So I was talking to him, and sure, we're still Facebook friends, and you know, and he just got married not too long ago, but congrats, Gio, if you see this. But it was just crazy to see him, dude. I mean, you could tell he was just starting out. He was green, and then it was like you blink your eyes, and I was like, dude, this guy's huge now, you know. And it's crazy. It just takes that one playlist to get on and let them numbers just shoot up, and you're like set. You know, that, I mean, that's what a lot of people look. If you want to book a show, they're looking at, all right, how many numbers you got on Spotify, even if they're bought, you know.
Yeah.
But like if I was sinking money into it, like it ain't doing very well. So, but
yeah, I've heard about that before. That some artists like will whether it's label manipulation or if it's like just putting money in to try to get preferred placements. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm not in the music game. I'm not in the streaming game. I'm just in the podcasting game. But at the same time, like you said, it's so much easier these days with streaming to be able to find new artists and find things that you click with. Cause like, I think of, the obviously the big name these days is Zach Bryan, right? Dude just feels like he blew up out of nowhere. Cause 2 years ago I saw him at the Ritz in Raleigh, North Carolina for like $80 and 1,500 people were there. And now he's scheduling a stadium tour and Turnpike Troubadours and Jason Isbell are opening. And I'm just like, dude, that's the power of the internet.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, and I've been lacking on like the TikTok side of it, and I'm like, dude, everyone's blowing up on TikTok. I need to start hitting it hard. So like, you're gonna see us a lot more on TikTok, and I feel like kind of Twitter kind of fell off. Like, I don't know, like, I mean, there's still a lot of people on Twitter, but I feel like it's more of promoting your OnlyFans or something on that.
Yeah, it seems like it, especially now that like the algorithm now gives you people you don't follow. God knows if you are swiping and you see and you look at a picture for too long, there's nothing but more of that coming. And so there's a lot of girls with their links on on Twitter these days.
Yeah.
But no, like you're right. Like Twitter was like, I love Twitter personally because I've been on it for so long and everything. And that's what I probably spend the most time on with this. But you're right. Like TikTok is the place where people are blowing up. And the problem I have with it is I just don't really understand it, if I'm being honest. I think it's funny. I like some of the videos, but I just don't know how these people are making all these videos and just blowing up like they are.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And I struggle with that too. Like, man, what do I post? Like what's the best thing to post? I don't want to, but then you look at it like a business. So that kind of got me, it changed my mind a lot, stepping back and looking to it like a business. Like if you go see Walmart, you see Walmart pop up, like it's going to be on all of our phones now because we're talking about Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see they're posting like every day and it's like the same product and you're seeing it every day. So you're like, in your head, you're like, man, I don't want to bother all these people. Like, hey, listen to my music. Hey, listen to my music every day. But you kind of have to. If you look at all the huge bands, they're like that. They're always posting something like, hey, look at this. We got this happening. So it's kind of like you got to get past that stigma in your mind to do. And that's a hard thing to do. And I'm sure it's the same way with the podcast.
Dude, but, 100%. Because the thing about it is, like, I didn't know if TikTok was something you just posted at first, like random videos or things you found funny. And then I like a nerd that I am, I started researching it, and I read that they put you in what they call verticals, where for us, like, we're a music podcast, right? So if we're posting things about music podcasts and we start gaining followers, then we need to keep doing that. Like you said, like keep posting the same stuff over and over, because then it'll show it to more people that react, you get more engagement, so on and so forth. But the moment we were to try to change and do something different, it takes us out of the vertical and you start from scratch. And I'm like, this is just a lot. It's making my head hurt. But it's like, it's weird because like we put the least amount of effort into TikTok, and it was like, shout out Parker McCollum. We did a video on him one time, and dude, to this day, I still get comments from girls out there on that. They're like, oh my gosh, Parker, and they're tagging each other. It's our biggest video we ever put out because the ladies love him.
Man, that dude's got it made for the rest of his life, man.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
He's going to be the next George Strait for sure, man.
Oh yeah. It's funny because, like you mentioned like talking about your mom was like not loving the rock sound and everything. It was funny because like my mom discovered Parker McCollum and she kind of likes some of his music. And then I was talking to her on the phone one day and she goes, that Co Wetzel guy popped up in my playlist that you guys all are fans of. She goes, I don't know, some of his language is kind of rough. And I was like, Mom, I'm going to be honest. I said, I don't think Co makes music for people's moms and grandmas.
Yeah, I don't think so either, man. Yeah. Like, do you have to cuss in your songs? And she was like, I'm friends with, I want to share your music, but there's people I go to church with on here, So,
yep.
Don't play it in church.
Yeah. Don't play it in church. We'll just make that agreement. No, I know exactly what you mean. Hey, look, put it this way. Our moms are just looking out for us. They want what's best for us. So that's all it is.
No doubt, man. No doubt. But yeah, mom's best, man, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't beat them. The moms are definitely a gift to this earth. So. I say that, shout out my mom. I know she listens sometimes. So, but yeah, man. So like, what's the coolest venue you've gotten to play?
Oh man, that's hard. There's been so many. I think Silver Saloon in Terrell. I just like it because the atmosphere and dude, like every time, like it's like every month they update their light system and sound system. So it's like you go in there and you're like, hey, we just got these new strobe lights over here, and hey, we just got new lasers over here. So I mean, that was really cool. I think I started off Bonita Creek Hall. I mean, that's a huge legendary place to play. That one's just super cool. Was the one in San Marcos. Randy Rogers owns it now.
Cheatham Street.
Cheatham Street, yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that one, just the, nostalgia of the whole place. It was just insane, man. You could just feel the music in the place when you walk in. I mean, that place was super cool. I mean, all the college towns for sure. I love the college towns. I went to didn't go to A&M, but went up there. My cousins all did, and I stayed with her and just partied with all them all the time. And I was working in the oil field, so I was gone a week and there for a week, and then doing music when I came back. When I was first starting. The Tap in College Station. That place was just still. I mean, I get chills like when we go in there just because it's like brings me back to when I was 16, 17, sneaking in, so
oh yeah,
it was just a fun place. But I mean, Bonita Creek Hall is probably one of my favorites. Still want to get into Billy Bob's and
oh yeah,
Lukenbach and go have some shows all around there. Green Hall, like I still would love to do that, but haven't made it there yet. But we'll get there one day. Good Lord willing. So.
Oh yeah, good Lord willing, creek don't rise.
It's crazy to me how many like venues there is in Texas. Because like when I've been to Terrell, I would have assumed there's nothing there. Like there's no music venues. Everybody just goes to Dallas, is what I would have assumed. But it's like there's a music venue everywhere.
Have you been to Silver Saloon yet?
No, I assume.
Dude, it's massive. Like, I mean, you got to go. I mean, it's crazy. Like that's actually how I met my wife was there. We were playing with Reed Southall that night, and I had a little bit too much to drink, and it was a crazy night. But we've been dating ever since that night. I was like, I'm gonna come pick you up tomorrow. Cancel the show and went and met her, and the next night, and we were dating ever since. It's been like 5 years now. Been together 4.5, yeah. But then we got married probably 3 years ago. But yeah, that place is massive, dude. I mean, and they used to have food there. They used to serve food, and dude, it was like the cooks couldn't speak any English, and it was like the Mexican food was the best food you've ever got in your life, dude. It was. When we saw that on the calendar, hey, we're going to Silver Saloon, we were all like, hell yeah, we're gonna get there early. They just took care of you, man. Like you pull in there and they're pushing like big carts full of like whatever beer and alcohol you want back there to you. So it's just a good time. And they actually sit there and they talk to you, conversate with you, party with you, like the owners and everything. So it's just big family environment there. So that place is just insane, man. So if you're ever around Terrell, I mean, go to Silver Saloon. It's nuts. But Bonita Creek Hall, kind of same thing. I mean, it's just cool how old the building is, and I love history and stuff like that. So
where's that one at?
In Nacogdoches, SFA area. Yeah. And they got there's a place right across the street from it. I'm a foodie too, dude. I love food. So it's called Annie Pasta's, the best Italian food, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Blue Light. I forgot about Blue Light, man. That one's really cool too. So many big names that came through there,
Oh yeah.
and so many people started there. It's just cool getting to play there and standing in the same spot that somebody did. That was like massive. It's just cool.
Yeah, we talked about the Blue Light for a while. We had a couple years ago Mason and the Gen Line on, and they're out from that area, West Texas. They were talking about how awesome it was, and they were telling us like all the people that have come through there, and like there's so many venues in Texas, so many towns in Texas that I'd like to get out to and go see a show sometime. It's just like it would be a years long project for me living on the East Coast to be able to even get through half of them.
Oh yeah, you have to take off and just do a big podcast of you going everywhere, tasting the barbecue. And
oh yeah,
that'd be cool. I'd watch it.
Yeah, Well, hey, dude, look, man. One of these days, I might be able to do that because that would actually be like a top tier trip. I'd have to keep that one in mind. Maybe Andy can meet me out there when he's on the road.
He can pay you to ride along, but you're getting paid for it.
Exactly. I'm taking time off, and Andy's getting paid to do it.
That's the way you do it. Perks of the job.
So what do you drive, man? 18-wheeler?
Yes, sir.
Peterbilt or?
Yeah, Peterbilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
Flatbed?
in Texas last week.
Flatbed or what is it?
Flatbed, yep.
Dang, man, you're brave. That's the dangerous ones, man.
Hey, yeah, you hurt yourself sometimes, but not very often.
Yeah.
Try to be a responsible adult.
Yeah.
Try to be being the key word, right?
Try.
That's all we can do. So,
Yeah,
like,
man.
do you write solo a lot, or do you do a lot of co-writing, or how is that like process for you?
Yeah, man, I do a lot of solo stuff, I kind of come up with something on the guitar or I come up with a melody. A lot of times it's weird, man. I do it in my sleep, like in my dreams. And I'll wake up in the middle of the night and roll over, grab my phone and sing it to my phone and go back to sleep. And the next morning I'll listen to it and I'm like, oh, damn, that's pretty cool. And if you don't roll over and do that, you're going to forget it because I'm like, oh, I remember it. I'm too tired. Well, you'll forget it. And I'm like, dang, man, that was a good one. I wish I could remember it. But I'll do that. And like just get the guitar and just keep picking and put on a little loop or something. And I'm actually kind of building a studio in one of my rooms where I can just start, kind of doing small little demos and stuff like that. Put some tracks down and kind of get a little more creative. But yeah, I wrote with one of my buddies before for one song that ruined my life. Paul Perez. He played bass for me for a while. Really, really great songwriter and good guy. He came up with it and then he was like, hey, I need help with the second verse. And I was like, dude, you got to let me cut this. And he was like, all right, dude. Yeah, if you want to do it. He's wrote some for Carson Jeffrey and stuff like that. So, I mean, he's super talented guy, man, and one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I mean, he's just super cool. But yeah, that's the first time I ever wrote with somebody. But it was a weird experience. Never did it before, so I was like, man, I don't know how to do this. Like, how do I, I don't want to do something wrong and look like a newbie or something, So I was like, hey, man, you're gonna have to help me out, bro. I'm glad I knew him to do that. But it turned out to be a really good song. Like I love that song, and a lot of people like it when I play it live too. So that more kind of country, kind of Parker McCollum vibe, that kind of country song. But
yeah, that was the first one I heard of yours. Yeah. That was kind of like we heard that and we were like, all right, we like this. Like we got to dive into some more. So because I believe that was the first one all of us heard, I want to say.
Sweet. Yeah. It's fun one to do.
I played that one and then played every song on your Spotify after that.
Hey man, I need help on the numbers. So
hey man, if we're gonna do everything we can to try to help with that because we dig it. So yeah, it's always funny like hearing people talk about going from solo writing to co-writing, just because like especially coming from Texas, right? So like people write together in Texas, yes, but I feel like a lot of people start off solo writing in Texas, whereas people that moved to Nashville to try to start a career in country music, they throw you immediately into the machine, so to speak, of like co-writing. And then I almost feel like when Texas co-writes, it still has a little bit more soul to it. Then when Nashville co-writes, you have some good stuff out of Nashville. We're not like, hate everything in the mainstream kind of guys like a lot of the people in our podcast space are, but there's still a lot of it that's very paint by the numbers and it just feels soulless in a lot of ways where I think that a lot of people not starting out trying to write stuff on their own probably kind of hinders them some. So that's one of the things I love about Texas music.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, we kind of all. I mean, we did it because there was nothing else to do. It was just we're bored and we like good music, and we were like, man, I think it'd be cool if I heard a song about this, and you just kind of run with it. But yeah, and I'm pretty much a loner too, man. Like, I don't have a big group of friends that we all go out all the time with and stuff like that. But so I kind of like the solo writing. But yeah, I actually went to Nashville and I was like, I'm going to move to Nashville and make it big. I'm going to be the next door straight. and got up there and just dreams were crushed, man. I mean, you can throw a rock and hit 5 musicians up there that are just insanely talented. And, they're all like, I joined like NSAI, some songwriter thing, and didn't even do it. I wish I would have. I just didn't know what I was doing. I was so young and so green. But it was like, all right, we meet up every Tuesday here. And I'm like, well, dude, I still live in Texas. And they're like, well, it's every Tuesday we meet up and we all just write songs. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that, So like, no, I probably ain't gonna make it. But I just paid you $300 for a year subscription. But sorry, I guess I'm never gonna use this. But it was kind of cool. I'd log in every now and then. And they'd have like a camera where you can watch and listen. If you were like a member or something, and you'd get to hear some stuff. So I learned some stuff from it. But yeah, the record labels, I'd go to knock on their doors with the CD, and I mean they wouldn't even listen to it. They're like, "Nope, can't listen to it. Sorry." And I'm just like, "That." But yeah, it was
Nashville's a different animal like that because they, like you said, in terms of just sheer musical talent and vocal talent, you could throw a rock and hit anybody. Like I've heard stories of there being like homeless people out there that can play and sing, but that's where like the songwriting stuff is the most important to me, just because the songs still have to be good. You can have somebody that can sing the phone book, but if they're only, if the songs aren't good, it doesn't matter to me. And that's something we kind of talked about with Corey Hunt, guy out of North Carolina. He's had some songs on the Texas regional radio. He kind of did a similar thing. He moved to Nashville for a little while. I kind of figured out it wasn't for him. He was real young. Then he moved back and he's like developed a very successful career, being based out of North Carolina, traveling and touring in Texas kind of thing. So I think that the way you're doing it and the way a lot of these guys down in Texas do it, it makes for better music in the end. Yeah. If that makes sense.
I wish it was more like it was in the old days, when Waylon and all them were coming up. Like, I get it though. It's a business. It's, you got to make money. So they're looking for what can sell, who's got the pristine jawline with the beard.
Yeah. Who looks like Parker McCollum, basically. Yeah.
Who can I get up there that is going to appeal to more people, and they might not even be the most talented person, and they just look at it. Well, they can sell better. I can always find somebody that'll write their songs. Like back in the day, I feel like it was just a different animal. Like you had to just be a beast, if you wanted to make it. And I miss that, but I feel like that's where Texas country kind of came. Like that's what started it. We were tired of it, and then you had your greats like Cody Johnson and all them, just cutting their teeth. I was watching Cody Johnson play on a bucket in Tyler, Texas. He worked at the prison in Huntsville with my uncle. And he was like, hey, listen to this song to him, so it was just, they were all like, dang, man, like that's real country music. Like this guy's legit. And I feel like Texas just kind of started that. Now it's kind of going in Oklahoma. And, Oklahoma probably did it at the same time Texas did, but it's just crazy to see that how it went underground. It's not dead. It just went underground. Like what people. Man, it's something, man. But I respect the Nashville hustle.
Yeah. Like, look, like you said, at the end of the day, it is a business, right? So you want to make as much money as possible. So I get it. I mean, I've said many times on this show that if I was a top tier songwriter, right, and they gave me the option to write songs with specific things in it, and I would make a boatload of cash, I'm not going to say I'm principled enough that I would say no.
I would too. Yeah, I would too, for sure. Look around and pick up one of these songs I wrote about tractors and hayfields, and
oh yeah, throw in a little bit of Dixie Cups and Daisy Dukes, and hey, look, I'll sit home and wait for my mailbox money.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, man. So one of the things we like to try to like close out the show when we have guests on, we like to do a lightning round if you're down.
Down, man. I'm down.
All right, Andy, I'll let you go first with the first question.
All right, let's go with Shinerbach or Lone Star.
Lone Star.
That's my pick.
Yeah. I'm more of a whiskey guy, but I like beer too. But that and Land Shark, I like Land Shark a lot.
Oh yeah, the Jimmy Buffett beer.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. All right, so let's say spicy ketchup, regular ketchup.
Oh, spicy, bro.
Spicy.
Yes. For sure. Spicy.
Andy?
Eat all the
I'll
heat.
go. I'll go with the Texas Best Smokehouse or Dickies.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Dickies.
That's my pick. When I went to Texas Best Smokehouse, like this is not the best smokehouse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So if you had to pick one artist, dead or alive, that you play a show with, who would it be?
Ooh. Man, I'm probably gonna say Keith Whitley.
Oh yeah, good choice.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, all the women were going to him.
Oh
back
yeah.
then. He's a beast, man. I feel like if he was alive longer, I mean, he'd be bigger than George Strait. I mean,
it's very possible because man, that man's voice was just absolutely amazing, and then just the songs too. Oh,
dude. Just, I mean, when you hear him, you just know that's him. You know, Merle Haggard too.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, Keith Whitley, dude, he's just a beast, bro.
Oh yeah, that was one of the. There were 3 cassette tapes in my dad's truck that we would listen to. There was Best of the Eagles, Best of Bob Seger, and Best of Keith Whitley when I was a little kid. And those are like the 3 things I remember the most. And so Keith Whitley was big influence on me as a kid.
Heck yeah.
Andy, one last question.
One last one. Since we're going to mention Merle Haggard here, do you think they should not allow marijuana sales in the town of Muskogee in honor of Merle Haggard?
Oh, I would say yes on that. Just in honor of Merle Haggard, yes. But you know, I've been known to smoke a little bit, so for the honor of him, then yes.
Hey, look, if you ask Merle later in his life, he would tell you that he didn't realize what he had been missing all those years.
Look up and see if you can find, if you haven't seen it yet, but Tales of the Tour Bus.
Okay.
If you've ever seen that.
I haven't.
Oh, bro, it's like the creators of South Park created it, and it's like actual stories of on the road with like Merle, Johnny Paycheck, Waylon, and like real stuff that they did. And like, I mean, it's wild, dude. It's hilarious, and it's like you kind of get to see the behind the scenes of the road life with them. And it was just, I mean, they were who they were. You know what I mean? Like they were outlaws for real. But
dude, I'm telling you, it was a different era in country music. Those guys were something else.
They were, but I'll text it to you. Get it too.
All right, yeah, for sure. I definitely want to check it out. So definitely send it my way.
Yeah.
All right, my last question. All right, so name 3 when you're on the road. What are the van jams?
Oh, dude, man, we all listen to so much crazy stuff. Like, I mean, I'm going with Gucci flip flops for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to play some Keith Whitley. You got anything by Keith Whitley. And then I'm probably going. Let me see what my last song is. Well, no, it might disconnect the camera. All right, yeah, that's a hard one, dude. And then I'm probably going to go with. So I got Gucci flip flops. I got the Merle Haggard. I'm probably going to go with some Co. You know, put some Co on. You know, to kind of if I'm trying to stay awake. You know.
Oh yeah. that'll get the blood a pumping.
Definitely, but I'm a real sucker for like sad songs too. Like if kind of weird. Like if I put on a super sad song, I'll stay awake and I can drive all night. Like I mean, eat some sunflower seeds and I'll Red Bull and I'll be good, dude. Like
oh yeah, I'm the same way, man. Sad songs don't it doesn't necessarily make me sad, sleepy, or bored like it does some of my friends. Like I'm a sucker for sad songs. And sometimes I'll even rewind it because the song didn't hurt me enough the first time.
I feel like and I pondered on that for a little bit and tried to figure out why I like sad songs so much. But I feel like that's the only emotion someone won't fake. You know what I mean? If you look at somebody sad, like, you know, like Robin Williams, all them, you know, he was sad, but you would never know. And he's not going to fake it, but he was fake being happy. So all these people writing happy songs, I feel like they don't stand the test of time. You know, you listen to George Jones and all them. He's known for all these sad songs, you know, that would hit you in the heart. But I think that's the emotion you can't fake. You know what I mean? So that's why I love the sad. I think that's why people like sad songs. But
no, I agree. I agree with you. My older brother and I have always said this. What you were just saying is the realest emotion, and it's also the most relatable emotion. Because whether people want to admit it or not, everything in a sad song can be relatable to you at some point in your life. Whereas some of the other stuff, maybe not. Some of that more escapist type music, but sad sad songs, it's the most relatable and real emotion there is.
But in the other songs we listen to, man, it's really like that. My guitar players love the hair metal, and then they listen to like King Wizard, Gizzard, Lizard, or some shit.
I have no idea.
Music, man. So like whenever they grab the aux, I'm like, hey man, you're getting off, bro. Like, no. But yeah, they listen to some weird stuff, man. And then the drummer is like a big I can't even remember the name. Dave Matthews fan. He's like huge. Love Dave Matthews, but they're just crazy on the drums. But yeah, it's just so crazy the different music we listen to. We're all fighting over it all the time.
Oh yeah. Andy and I were like that in college. We were playing I want to say Andy, it was Corey Hunt song. We were talking about this the other day. We played a Corey Hunt song for our friends, and they were like, "Oh, can we change this? This is just too slow and sad." And Andy were like, "What are you talking about? We picked the happy one."
It sounds like
hey, it's the best type of music. But all right, man, if you will, plug your social media and any tour dates you have coming up.
Yeah, definitely. So you can find us on anything social media. So like Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, Twitter. I don't know about MySpace. But Christian Mingle. No,
plenty of fish.
You can look us up, Brian Chance, BrianChance, and it should pull up just Brian Chance Music or Brian Chance Band. Some of them are kind of different, but it should pull us right up. Look us up on Spotify, help us get them streams up. And I appreciate y'all for letting me be a part of this, man. It was super fun, super cool. So y'all make it real fun and easy to talk. So I appreciate it, man. And look forward to maybe coming back one day. And
yeah, man. Hey, dude,
can't wait to see what happens.
We appreciate you coming on, and we'll definitely have to get you back on the show again for sure. Especially maybe like when you got your new project coming out, we'll get you back on around then.
I'll shoot you the demos over where you can hear them real quick too.
Yeah, man. Sounds good to me. So this episode of Country and Cold Cans, I'm Logan, sitting there with Trucker Andy. Kyle's not here this week, and our special guest, Brian Chance. We'll see you next time.